Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Building with Barefoot and Hillbilly. And also, Happy Father's Day 2026. Just kind of want to show you guys a couple of new builds that are now in the workshop. These are for the game Empyrion Galactic Survival using the Reforged Eden 2 scenario. Now, I've got the YT 2400. These are both out of the Star Wars universe. But the 2400 is a Corellian design. I've had both of these ships posted before, but now I've got them set up under Reforged Eden 2. Had to go in and rework a lot of stuff inside and outside. The other ship is the Crest. Actually, the Crest 2. The original Crest was destroyed. But yeah, let me get into it here and show you guys what's been done. I've tried to use the same body as the original on the YT 2400 that I had previously posted. I think it was back in 2022. So it was an older build and it needed to be updated. Reworked the entire thruster housing in the back on the block work anyway. To bring it up into RE2, Reforged Eden 2 standards, I had to upgrade all the thrusters, the generator, shields, core extenders. So much has changed through the years that you get an older build out there and they don't want to work hardly at all in the new scenarios. You know, they update stuff weekly, monthly. One of the things I did was remove the forward-facing weapons that were on the bottom and top in the area where there's supposed to be a turret. So I went ahead and put a turret in, top and bottom. And these are pop-up turrets, so when you turn off your weapons, they actually tuck down into the ship. It gives you a more sleek, innocent look. Now I've put the new spotlights in. These are extra bright. Left the original 2 slots for forward-facing weapons. I believe I moved the detector out on the end here. There it is. By placing your detectors out on the far right or far left hand side, it actually puts your detector first in your list when you enter the pilot seat. So instead of having a weapon, you've got your detector. And it defaults back to that very first slot every time you enter or exit a new area in the game. So having no weapons in that slot makes it a little safer. So you don't fly into a sector with, say, space station, and you click on the you're thinking you're clicking on your sensor, and you accidentally click on a weapon and shoot the space station. Yeah, that's not going to work out too good. The Polaris, they kind of frown on that. So we try not to do that. So that's why I've put the detector out on the far left-hand side over there in the corner. It puts it in the number 1 slot. Now, in order to distinguish this ship from the original, I changed up the colors. The original color striping was the off-shaded red, so now I've put the blue, kind of a gray blue color in. So that's the exterior of this ship and why it's colored up a little bit differently. Let's go ahead and walk inside. When you first come in, you come into the storage compartment. You've got all your containers and extra storage areas. I believe that one's for your ammunition. But I've also put your food processor and fridges out here, along with your medical station. Thought that was a fitting place to put those items. Now in the interior also, I went ahead and upgraded the walkways going into each part of the ship. Now when you're in flight or in space, these shutters are closed, like I just now closed them, and you can actually walk all the way through to the airlock and be able to just exit the ship into space. Coming into the main central part of the ship, this is where your hangout area is for your passengers or crew. Everybody gets a seat. You can sit in here and just relax and enjoy the ride. Decorated up with some new Reforged Eden blocks. You've got like a 3-dimensional view of different planets in the system. And you got a little video up here playing, so gives you something to look at. Reworked the firing station. So in game, anybody that hops into any of these seats, but what I've got this seat set aside for is you can take control of the 2 turrets outside. So while the pilot's doing his thing, passenger can be, using the turrets to attack or defend the ship. Redid the interior design just a little bit. Removed the seating and everything out of here. This will give you extra space to put in some more core extenders if need be. Walk back through this door. This takes you back to engineering. You got your O2 canisters, your Wi-Fi, your jump drive. Over here you've got a pentaxid tank. I placed a reactor in here. And you got your fuel canisters. This is your shield generator. And all these items are upgradable, well, except for the generator, the reactor. I removed the original generators and opted to put in the new reactor. It's a one-piece item that the output of energy is a whole lot better. It's a little higher on CPU, but it's a lighter item, piece of equipment, and you get more energy out of it versus multiple smaller generators. It just makes sense to put in a reactor when you can. The jump drive, it's upgradable as well. Okay. Heading out of the engineering back into the crew compartment. Got a little quarters back here for any of the crew that decides they just want a little alone time. They got their own seat. And this is a design of a bed that doesn't really work in game, but gives you the effect that that's where you lay down and take a nap. Okay, exiting the crew area, you come into the hallways of the ship. You've got a bathroom over here. It's your special space toilet. And over in this corner, you've got a shower. Granted, these items don't work, and they're just there for eye candy. Give you more of the immersive feel that there's something, more to the ship. This little room, as you come to it, is your core room. There's your main core, and on either side there's room for some more core extenders. On further back is your captain's quarters. Got you a couple of seats here so you can sit down as a captain and talk to your crew members if they've done something wrong. Which crew members, they're all they do everything just right, perfect. They're happy. Coming on down through the hallway, I put the name of the ship out here. Corellian engineers, they're proud of their work. So on down the hallway, I've added a couple of extenders, access and container controllers. This one has got 500 units. This has got 1,375. So not too bad on the volume. That one's a little low, but still it gives you a space there to put some stuff. You've got a hallway here now. Comes to a junction. Come down the hallway. You've got your escape pod. Of course, just more passenger seats. Not really an escape pod. Come back this direction. And you come up to the cockpit. Now I've reworked the cockpit. Moved the passenger seats back against the wall. Added a couple of consoles for them. You got oxygen blowing out in their face. Passengers got to breathe. Didn't do too much up here other than redo some textures and add in some new Star Wars LCDs just to simulate computer controls, buttons, blinky lights. Just more to give you that immersive feeling. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to this ship. When you land, the ramps extend out automatically. Your doors will open up automatically. And again, guys, this is Empyrion Galactic Survival using the Reforged Eden 2 scenario. Beautiful game. Your building possibilities are just endless in this game. You just have to learn how to use the blocks and get your shaping. And then you got your paint tool you can learn to use to get all your textures done up. Alright, the next ship is the Crest 2. So this ship here, I've took the original that I had built and stretched it out like a limousine by about 4 blocks on the front and about 3 blocks to the rear. And then I went ahead and extended the thruster housings out by a couple of blocks. Give me a little bit more room inside. And again, this was built off the Reforged Eden scenario. And I needed to do an update and rebuild the Razor Crest anyway into the new Reforged Eden 2 scenario. And no better time to do it since there's now Razor Crest 2. So went ahead and just did a total upgrade. This one I've maxed it out right now on CPU. There's still room for some more CPU extenders, so if you still want to upgrade more, you can do that. I've added more thrusters, added higher tier weapons, upgraded the jump drive, upgraded the shields. I reconfigured the landing gear area on the back, gave it the more beefier look, and kind of brought the blocks down a little bit underneath. That whole section even in the movies, it kind of hangs down just a little bit. I reconfigured the blockwork on the top. Get it to look more like the original in the series. But in my version, you can access your jump drive and pentaxid tank from above if need be. You've got a little window here you can see down into the generator. Actually, that's the reactor like I used on the other build on the YT 2400. The reactors, they put out more energy, they're lighter, use a little bit less CPU, and take up less space than having to use multiple smaller generators. I did add a pop-up turret to the back. Even in the shows, there's a pop-up turret back here. So it's fitting to put one back here on the ship as well. Now this is a tier 2 laser. So that's been upgraded as well. I reworked all the blocks on the back. So by stretching it out, also gave it more of the elongated look. Reconfigured the back door area. Put little shutters up in here so you can access all your parts, add in more CPU if you need to. But you've got shield parts back here and CPU extenders. Coming up into the ship, this is a totally reconfigured interior. Nothing in here is like the old version that I had. You get your armor locker and your O2 station. And there's a little bit of storage on either side. Added in some storage containers, 2 on each side. Now there's a storage container at the bottom. Now over here where this storage container is, I did leave extra space down in there. If you want to put a constructor in, there's room for a constructor. You're just going to have to upgrade your CPU extenders a little bit. Because right now we're maxed out on our CPU. But you've got a medical station. Other side, you've got your 2 refrigerators at the bottom and your food processor up here at the top. Put a button here, label it for your components access. This will open up all your shutter doors in the ceiling, and there's a shutter door back here as well. It'll open up. That gives you access to your jump drive, gravity generator, and I believe the pentaxid tank as well. So by clicking that button, it opens up the shutter doors and you can access all your components that's been tucked up in the ceiling. You got your shield generator, your reactor, all your shield parts. You got a gravity generator, your Wi-Fi, and again back here you've got your gravity generator and your jump drive, and just above that, up in the top in the corner, is your pentaxid tank. Closing that all up. Moving forward, you've got your side access. Move up close to them and your ramps extend and your doors open. I've got that set up for either side. Walking forward, you got more container controllers. So you got more storage. Coming up into the cockpit now. You've got your 2 passenger seats up here. If we could, I would build a little Grogu to sit right there. And then of course there's your pilot seat. And your view out front of the Razor Crest. Still, compared to some of the other small vessels in the game, it's still smaller. So the Razor Crest is a nice little ship. It's nothing really to write home about other than it gets the job done. I've left room under the wings if you wanted to add rockets. You can add your rockets back up under the wings there. And of course the ramps and doors on the sides extend and open up as you walk up to them. But here we go, guys. If you've enjoyed this, just give me a like. And if you want to keep up with any of the future Barefoot builds, just subscribe and you'll be notified when new ones appear. So again, guys, happy Father's Day. Try to have a great day. Whatever your family's going to do, just enjoy it today. Relax. And I'll be posting some more builds pretty soon. I'd like to try to post as I'm building a ship. I'll come up with something for a future episode. You guys just try to have a great day, and we'll catch up with you later. Alright, have a good one.